YouTube, what's going on? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't get this video to you yesterday, but here it is now. I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's get to it.
Nico on the beat.
So a lot about what I'm talking about in this video, and this is just a clip from my stream. You already know the whole ordeal. Twitch.tv/GameArmour every Wednesday, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. But I just had to get something off my chest. Everyone knows that I'm a very avid Chiefs fan. So a lot of people come to me for that kind of like Chiefs little secret deep dive or just the fan experience of being a Chiefs fan, especially in the past couple years. Well, I had to address my stream and then also dive into the scenery that I've seen when it comes to Chiefs fans. So if you like this video, drop a like, leave a comment down below. If you either agree or disagree, hit that sub button so you're here every time a video drops, no matter if it's on the day that it's supposed to or not. You already know, but I'll see you on the next video. Catch you guys later. So I want to get this out of the way first as a gigantic disclaimer. I am not going to say anything about the Chiefs after this statement I'm going to make. And I know there's probably going to be people that come in after I make this statement and they're just going to have to miss out or watch the VOD. Or I don't know, maybe I'll clip this and put it on Twitter. I don't know. But I'm going to say this right now. We are in the off season. I don't want to hear shit about the game. I don't want to hear shit about people's contracts. I don't want to hear shit about, because this is the thing. It's not that I'm mad or that I'm salty or it's like, oh, you guys thought you were going to the Super Bowl. Now you're not. It's not even those things. What's really kind of ruined the come down of the season is Chiefs Twitter. I have learned so much about Chiefs Twitter since, I don't know, the past year, but really the past couple months, because for those that aren't a part of Chiefs Twitter, they went through like this whole thing where they're like, Chiefs Twitter, we should all follow each other, and basically did the like stereotypical follow for follow type thing on Twitter for like the playoffs. I learned a lot about Chiefs Twitter during the playoffs. And I learned that as much as I love the Chiefs and as much as I'm like very invested in the Chiefs, not just because my uncle played, not just because I've been watching them since I was actually, those are real life things, because I've watched them since I was a kid, because my uncle played for them, because it was the first football that I have ever seen. Yes, that's why I am heavily invested in the Chiefs. But Chiefs Twitter is pretty awful. Now, there are some great follows out there that I appreciate, whether if it's for comedic relief or just former players that have really great breakdowns of the games and stuff like that. But the Twitter GMs that want to book real people's contracts, this is one thing that really bothers me. You are a person that is sitting at home on the couch and the only thing you have to do is drink your beer while watching the game, and you are tweeting about someone else's pockets that you have nothing to do with. And you are talking about, I would restructure their contract, I would cut this person and all. And that's what I love about Twitter, because Twitter is a very big, small world. You start saying some shit and then all of a sudden the person you're talking about replies to you and you have to switch up, because that's not what you That's not what you expected. You thought the words were just far enough to where you could shout, no one would hear you. So seeing a lot of people in Chiefs Twitter get checked by players or associated, people has been probably the best part. But Chiefs Twitter is just awful. It's awful when we lose. Everyone wants to sell the team. Everybody wants to fire their head coach. Everybody. And I've never seen any Chiefs platform like this. And this is what happens when people that I don't even know. But it's just bad. And it's made me not like Twitter even more. And I'm already not a huge fan of Twitter. But damn, like, whoo. So I've been so exhausted by all of the Twitter GMs and the over managing of a team you have no decision about. People still harping on the game that they never played in. That was one thing my dad always told me after games that I would be upset in. And I truly only got upset one other time. But every time when I would get upset as a kid watching a game and seeing us lose, he would always ask me like, hey, Kingston, did you play in that game? I'd be like, no. And he was like, then what are you upset for? You had no way to change any decision. You had no way. There was no play that you gave up. There's nothing that you missed. There's nothing for you to be upset about. It's a great point. The one other time that I got upset was in the playoffs when we played the Titans and Marcus Mariota passed, threw a pass. It got deflected. He caught it, ran it in for a touchdown. Also the same game where we were torching the Titans. Travis Kelce got hurt right before halftime, didn't return into the game, and then we lost in very dramatic fashion. I was also in a locker room for a wrestling event, about to wrestle, watching it on my phone. And man, the kid that I wrestled that night, oh, he ate all of that. He ate all of that. But I just wanted to get all that out the way. I wanted to get all that out the way first. But like I said, after that, that's all I'm saying about the Chiefs. I'm not going to do the whole, what are we going to do in the off season? How should we change things? I'm not going to do that. Like I said, the Twitter GMs and all that have ruined any kind of like real Chiefs talk I would like to have. Maybe in a couple weeks we can revisit it or whatever. But like as of right now, Twitter just, because it made me realize how the lack of thought that people have behind the things that they say. Because I literally saw today of someone asking on their like media Twitter, like it was for their podcast or whatever, asking, should we keep or cut or no, keep or should we re-sign or release Tyrann Mathieu? And a few comments later, who shows up in the comments? Tyrann Mathieu. And he's like, wow, I think it's wild that these are the conversations that we're having, when at first you guys were celebrating me because I came here and brought you a championship. Now you're like, because we lost, it's like, oh, do we need to get rid of him? And I'm like, it's so fucking real, because the Twitter GMs are just so reactionary. They have no big brain real shit like Brett Veach. So it's like, who do you think behind your fucking 180 characters or how many ever it is now? What do you think your tweet is going to do? Brett Veach is not even on Twitter. So he is not going to roll past your shit on Twitter and be like, yeah, you know what? At my homie 6785's got a great idea. We should draft because of him. Like, are we serious right now? It's like, what the fuck? So that's all I'm saying about the Chiefs. Congratulations to Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams, and also Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals for making it to the Super Bowl. It will be one of the few Super Bowls that I probably will not watch.